Hi, I'm Suzanne, and I'm going to do a quick demonstration of triangle pose. Triangle pose, you're going to step your feet out wide. It's a little bit shorter than maybe the Warrior Two stance. So what we call Uttitha Trikonasana stance, a wide leg stance. I'll demonstrate to my right, so I'm going to rotate my right leg all the way around and slide my left heel back. And the typical instruction here is to have the feet heel to arch. I personally like to go heel to heel. It's a little bit wider and more comfortable in my hips. You're going to want your front foot facing at 12 o'clock. That means the outer edge of my right foot, my front foot, is parallel to the outer edge of the mat. Put a block outside your ankle. The back leg, the back foot, hip, and knee all have a slight cant. So there's an angle to the back foot. And the pelvis is mostly open toward the long edge of the mat, but there's a slight cant toward the left, or to the right, toward my front leg. What we do want is to have the chest oriented toward the long edge of the mat. So there's a twist above the waist. So my pelvis is here, my waist is here, and my rib cage twists back. And you'll see my shoulders go with that as well. Another thing that's important to keep in mind is the front leg. So we're going to want to make sure that we don't hyperextend the front knee, and I could be prone to that on this leg. So what you want to do is press the weight toward the front of the foot, toward the toes, and a little bit on the inner edge of the foot. So the big toe, inner heel stays firmly grounded. The outer hip, the outer right hip, is going to draw back. So it's a slight twist of or turn of the femur in the hip socket. It's like the inner thigh turns a little bit forward and the outer thigh turns a little bit back. When you keep the inner edge of your foot down, it'll provide some stability as you turn that hip back. You want to turn the hip back just enough so that the right knee faces the center of the right foot. Okay? Other thing I want to show you is the pelvis and the pelvis rhythm moving in and out of this. So the hip socket is at the bottom of the pelvis, and that rolls over the top of the femur bone. You want to make sure that you're coming into your fold from the hip joint, right here where this hip crease is. Make sure you're not folding from the waist and just moving the shoulders and not getting the pelvis to come into it. So you'll notice I'm going to unlock my knee quite a bit here, and I want to lean forward and take the whole pelvis and torso together over that front leg. Okay, so try to get those all moving together. I'm not really warmed up here, so I might look a little stiff, because I am. Okay, so make sure the fold is happening from there. You'll lift the arms up. Twist your chest toward the long edge of the mat. Twist above the waist. Reach the arms away from each other and look over your middle finger. You're going to inhale, and as you exhale, reach out over that right leg. So the whole torso and pelvis lengthens over the leg, the hip crease deepens. I reach out as long as I can, trying to draw as much length on that right side of the body, and bring my right hand down onto my block. Twist my chest up. Let the pelvis have that slight cant down and to the right, and then float the top arm up. I'm going to broaden across the collarbones, across the wingspan of your upper back, and if you can, look up towards your top hand, look sideways, or even look down. It's always a good idea to look down. Make sure you push into the inner edge of that right foot again, pull the outer right hip back, twist the left chest in the opposite direction, up, gaze up if that feels okay on the neck. When you're done, go ahead and press down into the feet, reverse the direction, bring your shoulders and torso up, release your arms. You'll rotate your feet around and do the same thing on the other side. So rotate the left leg out, slide the right heel back. I'm going to wiggle my left foot a little bit further to the left. I'll show you going in the whole way. Float the arms up, root the inner edge of my left foot down, and shift the weight toward the front of the foot. The same rate, reach into my back leg. Inhale, exhale, I reach out over that side body, deepening into my hip crease. Grow as long as I can. Drop my hand down to the block, take my opposite arm up, turn my gaze up. Twisting my rib cage up, looking up, and trying to maintain as much length as I can from the crown of my head down through my tail. When you're ready to come out, root to your feet, come all the way up. Rotate your feet parallel, Release your arms and then walk your feet in. Thank you very much for watching. Namaste.